Hello there! Today I'm going to check out a video of Paolo from Tokyo. You can find him right here. This is how you write it. Anyways, there will be a link in the description. This is why Japanese don't like foreigners. And for sure you must have seen some of the videos on TikTok or YouTube Shorts where Japanese people is not very accepting towards foreigners. I don't know, maybe they behave a little bit rude, I would say. That's what it seems to imply, because it just shows you one part, one side of the medal. I feel like it's mostly like most people don't understand the Japanese culture. So you're in a foreign country, not understanding the culture, of course, they might come off as rude or not welcoming. That is just my impression, but I haven't been to Japan, so I haven't experienced any of these. I've only seen some videos, but those are very short videos, so maybe they cut out important parts to understand why that actually was. So he is Japanese, he's going to explain it to us, so I'm going to learn something new today. Let's go.
This video is brought to you by Squarespace, my go-to for making websites. More on this in a bit.
So have you guys ever wondered what Japanese people are really thinking? Well, in this video, I wanted to share with you guys some of the things that they never tell you, but they're actually thinking inside of their head. So I've been in Japan for more than 15 years, and I'm going to be sharing with you some of the stuff.
Also, he's not Japanese. He's not Japanese. I always thought he was Japanese. Paolo de Guzman, so he comes from, I don't know, maybe Peru, Mexico, I don't know, some country in South America, I guess. I always thought he was Japanese. He looks very Japanese. Maybe he's half Japanese. I don't know.
Stuff that I've learned all along the way.
In general, Japanese people like to follow the rules, so when others break those rules, it's very frustrating for them. On top of that, Japanese people don't like interacting with strangers, so they'll try to avoid speaking out at all costs.
And the reason why I know this is because
It's okay, I don't like to interact with people I don't know either. So I can understand that part.
I've actually made a lot of these mistakes myself. When you do come to a different country, you want to be as respectful as possible, but it's just hard because a lot of the times Japanese don't tell you that you're pissing them off. But just keep in mind that I'm generalizing things. Not everyone is like this in Japan. These are some of the guidelines to help you guys understand what Japanese people are thinking, and so maybe you don't piss them off when you come to Japan.
Number 1, not wearing masks in public when you're sick.
If you ever come to Japan or have watched Japanese videos or any of my videos,
Wait, so this is before, even before COVID, right?
for that matter, you'll notice that a lot of people are wearing masks, getting on airplanes, or sometimes they're just on the train. So what a lot of people think is that Japanese people are scared of getting sick, and so they wear the mask to protect themselves from other people transferring any viruses or any sicknesses to them. That's actually partly true, but the other side of it
I mean, it makes sense, even though COVID showed us that masks are relatively helpful, not too much. I mean, still, it's better to wear a mask than not, but yeah. Nowadays, nobody wears a mask anymore, so yeah, at least here in Europe.
is they're trying to protect other people. When Japanese people get sick, they don't want to transfer what they've caught or their illness to someone else.
So nice.
So they wear a mask to protect other people. So what actually pisses them off is that when someone else is sick and they're not wearing a mask. As a common courtesy, Japanese people expect others when they're sick to wear a mask. So if you're ever in Japan and you do get sick, it would probably be good to wear a mask. Number 2. Squatting in public. If you've ever been walking the streets in Japan, or especially Tokyo, you'll probably rarely see Japanese people squatting. The reason for this is when Japanese people see someone squatting, they actually think that this person is poorly brought up. And one thing that I kind of see personally in Tokyo, especially with tourists, is I'll go to a department store and I'll just see them like sitting against a pillar or sitting like actually on the ground in the department store, or maybe they're sitting on some stairs. This is actually,
I mean, come on, you're blocking the way. Of course this will piss people off. Right? But I mean, I can understand how that might seem annoying, Yeah, look at her face, look at her face. Oh my god. If she had powers through her eyes, she would just incinerate him. It would be like, and
The same thing as squatting in public. Japanese kind of view that as behaving poorly. So the thing is, in Japan,
shout out to Paolo from Tokyo. He probably lost his visa doing this video.
and department stores are considered luxuries. So it's kind of weird for Japanese people to see someone squatting when they're trying to like get that luxury experience. It's kind of like seeing someone picking their nose right next to the Chanel shop or like the Gucci shop. So if you do feel tired, then definitely find a seat. I know Tokyo is a bit hard, especially because there's not a lot.
I don't know. I mean, I can't really recall myself squatting on the floor. Mostly because if I sit down on the floor, it's gonna be so hard for myself to get up again. So I don't really do that. I can see how that might look annoying, you know? I can see that. I can totally see that. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
A lot of places to sit. If you can, definitely try to find a seat. Or what Japanese people will do is they'll find a cafe and they'll sit there. Number 3, blocking traffic. Now this kind of goes hand in hand with like sitting in department stores or squatting in public. Basically, you're making a nuisance of yourself when you're blocking traffic. So for example, you'll be walking on the street. You'll just see like a group of tourists just standing in the walkway.
Oh, I so fucking hate that. Oh my god, especially when I'm taking my walk and I always see people talking to each other and they're standing all throughout the sideway, you know? They're just stopping there and talking. Oh my god, and especially here in Italy when people talk, they move their hands a lot. So they blocking the whole way, you know? They're talking, they're doing like this the whole time. They're blocking everything. It's so annoying. I usually just cross the road and go the other way, but oh my god, pisses me off so bad. It's really annoying when people just stop in the sideway. I mean, sometimes I can understand how that can happen. Like if you feel lost, you don't want to keep walking and then going back. But it's really annoying. Yeah, it's better to find a spot on the side and then stop there where you're not bothering anyone else, because really it's frustrating. I can understand why Japanese people don't like that.
And not letting people pass by. That just like really pisses people off because a lot of people are trying to get from A to B and you're just like getting in their way and you're not kind of considering others.
But I mean, I think this is a pretty international thing, right? It will annoy pretty much anyone. Not just Japanese, I would say. I'm not too sure though.
Not to say that all foreigners or tourists do this, but Japanese people do it too. But as you get kind of older, you realize to be more courteous of others and you try not to get in other people's way. So if possible, if you need to stop, don't stop in traffic. Try to go off to the side where you're not actually getting in people's way. Number 4, expecting places like food stalls to accept credit cards. And now I've gone over this so many times in my other videos that Japan is still very much a cash-based society. If you're buying
Say Italy too, you know, in the past years after the COVID pandemic, more and more people started accepting credit cards, but many places, especially like bars and food stalls, they will still be accepting cash. So yeah, it's okay. As long as you know before you travel there, then it's fine.
Street food, probably not expect them to accept a credit card because it's just kind of common sense, common knowledge that these places don't accept credit card and they will get kind of like annoyed. It's kind of like, why are you asking me to take credit card when you know this place, these shops don't take credit cards? Because at the end of the day, it just makes you look like you don't have any common sense.
Alright, so it just started to rain, so I needed to find some cover, and what better way to do it than here? Let's continue on. Number 5, eating at tourist trap spots. Now, this one, again, maybe doesn't piss Japanese off per se. It is kind of embarrassing to go and eat at these kind of places because it's just so much food that Japan has to offer. When foreigners go to these like very, very tourist trap places and eat, it's kind of like, you kind of missed out. Thing is,
But how do you recognize when a place is a tourist trap or not?
I've actually gone to a lot of these like tourist trap places myself, just not knowing better, and I kind of wanted to give you some pointers on what's a tourist trap spot and what is not. This usually applies to, for example, like izakayas, Japanese drinking restaurants. So the ideal for a good Japanese restaurant would be a place like this that keeps it simple with minimal signage. What you'll find instead with like a lot of tourist trap places is not only will they have their sign, it may be in English, but they'll also have a signboard with pictures, not only Japanese Japanese, but it also has English on the menu. You're kind of like, oh, so they are like catering to a foreign market. One of the biggest giveaways for this is not only do you see English, but you see like Chinese and Korean. You see like 3 different languages on the menu. You might want to step back a little bit because this could be a tourist trap spot. Oh, one thing though, this kind of goes against what I was saying. Like for example, if you go to ramen shops, nowadays there's ramen shops, they get really, really popular and they have a lot of foreigners coming to it. Just to make the experience a little bit easier for both parties, they've just added the English to the menu, but originally they didn't have it. So it's not like they were like initially trying to like get foreigners to come, it's just foreigners started coming, so they had to kind of adapt and add an English menu. Oh, and this is probably the biggest giveaway out of all of it. If you ever hear one of those like aggressive shamisen music playing in the front of the store, you should probably run because they're like trying to attract tourists like you would not believe. But at the end of the day, if you want to come to Japan and you just feel comfortable eating at these like tourist trap spots, then yeah, that's fine. But if you want to come to Japan and you want to kind of experience like authentic Japanese,
I mean, I don't totally agree with this because, like, even Italy has lots of these tourist trap restaurants. I mean, for Italian, it's really easy to spot them because most of the times they just spell the Italian words wrong. But still, I mean, you still get to try the food that you don't have in your own place. So at the end of the day, yes, you got kind of scammed because you didn't try the proper food, but it's still probably gonna be cooked better than in your country. So I guess it's better to try maybe first the trap restaurant, the tourist trap restaurant, and then go to the actual deal, you know? So you can definitely see what's the difference between one and the other. At least that's what I would do, because the first time I would get scammed, you know? And the next time I will become smarter and try the real deal.
Japanese cuisine, I would say just like try to stay away from these places. Alright, so before I continue, I wanted to just give a quick shout out to Squarespace. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video. In fact, I've been using Squarespace for I think like more than 7 years now. And when I started this channel, we built out tokyozebra.com.
Okay guys, go and check out Squarespace to support Paolo from Tokyo. I'm going to continue the video.
Number 6, eating with your offhand underneath the table. So this one was like really weird to me because
with offhand under the table. So you have to keep both hands on the table when you eat. Okay.
one, I didn't know this until after coming to Japan, and in fact, to be honest with you, I still do it sometimes. The way you're supposed to eat in Japan is you're supposed to just have dominant hand, you're eating with your chopsticks, and you have maybe have your rice bowl on the other hand, and you're just like eating like this. But sometimes if you don't have the bowl in your hand and you're just eating on the table, like I sometimes take my offhand and I put it underneath the table or like just on my lap and I eat with just one hand. But apparently this is just kind of bad manners in Japan. This is something that Japanese kids grow up with their parents like telling them.
Okay, let me know, is it one of those rules that even Japanese people would just not care about, or is this something very important that must be followed? I'm trying to understand more of your culture. Let me know down in the comments.
To always show their other hand, because I think just in general people like to put their offhand underneath the table or on their lap when they eat. I don't know if this is a thing in your country, but it definitely is something here in Japan. So when you eat and you want to have kind of,
I mean, we do have many of those table rules in Italy too, especially in Europe, but I feel like most people don't really follow them. It's mostly like for the higher classes, the riches. They are the ones that follow most of those.
good manners, then you should leave or you should show your offhand the entire time, just like put it on the table. And finally, before we get out of this place, number 7, not cleaning up after you eat. So cleanliness is kind of one of those pet peeves that Japanese people have. They like to keep everything clean, you know, in general. So when you're eating in a public place, it's always like kind of proper manner just to clean up after yourself while you're eating, and especially after you eat. Maybe in other countries you expect the waiter or the waitress to clean up after you're eating, so you can like leave all of your crumbs on the table.
I mean, it depends. Like when you go to fast food places, they already have everything for you to throw away, so that's fine. Then the waiter will just come and clean the table. I guess Japanese people also do like clean where they sit before, right?
table. You can leave, your French fries or your noodles. It's just like spilled on the table. It's okay just to leave the table like that. But in fact, in Japan, it's like common courtesy to actually gather all of the napkins, all of like the loose items, and put it all in the bowl or in the center of the plate. And then if there's any like spots on the table, just to like wipe it down with a napkin. Make it kind of tidy, because in Japan, no one wants to have like a really messy table even after they leave. Is that an international thing, or is that just a Japanese thing? All right, so that's
I feel like
enough
it's
about
more of a
food.
Japanese
Let's
thing.
move on to the next spot. Number 8, making people wait. This one actually pisses a lot of Japanese off. So in general, I think Japanese people are very punctual, and that's just because they're being considerate of others. They don't want to make other people wait. So when they're supposed to meet someone, say for example for work, then they'll usually arrive 5 to 10 minutes early on site. They'll probably
this is
go up a minute or
perfect.
two before
I
going
love
to
that.
the front desk and checking themselves in. It's just like, it's one of those things, being considerate.
Yeah, I have so many friends that should watch this video, that they always get so late whenever we have to hang out. Oh my god, I hate that. I'm always one of the first to get there. Oh my god. And I always have to wait in my car until everyone else arrives. It's so annoying.
Considerate is probably on the priority in like thinking of others. So the fact that you're late, meaning you're wasting other people's time, and Japanese people don't like to waste time, and in fact they hate it when someone else wastes their time. In fact, I've been here so long, it kind of pisses me off, to be honest, when people that I have a meeting with are late. I'll actually set up a lot of international calls like on Skype or whatever. People overseas are always like 5, 10, 15 minutes later. They email me just before, sorry, got stuck in a different meeting. And I think it's almost like common practice to be late when you're setting up a meeting. But me being in Japan and working in a Japanese style environment for so many years, I've just got accustomed to being on time, or if not early, to all of my meetings. So if you ever come to Japan and you're meeting up with a Japanese friend, you have dinner reservations, or you're just meeting someone for business or for pleasure, you want to be on time, if not early. So definitely keep that in mind when setting up your meetings.
Love
but
that,
there
love
is
that.
one caveat to this. So as people get more comfortable with each other, then I wouldn't say it's accepted to be late, but it's more forgiven, and it's not as big of a thing when compared to if you were acquaintances or if it were a business meeting. At the end of the day, it's just being considerate, and sometimes I don't understand why that's so hard for some people. Maybe it pisses me off more than Japanese people. Number 9, talking to someone in line. So again, this one is another thing that kind of...
Okay. I love that. I gotta say, I love that. Oh my god. There's nothing worse than when I feel so frustrated to wait in line, especially here in Italy. People always start to talk to you. It's so annoying. I really hate it. Oh my god. I really hate when people start talking to me when I'm waiting in line. So yeah, Japan is, oh my god. I want to live in Japan now.
surprised me. Kind of one of those reverse culture shocks when I went in the States. I was just waiting in line at the supermarket, and all of a sudden someone behind me just started talking to me,
from the
asking me
US.
about the weather or the sports team or something like that, and I was completely shocked. I think it's because I've been in Tokyo so long that people here in Tokyo, at least, they don't appreciate it when a random person just approaches them, especially if they're just doing their like normal daily tasks, like going to the convenience store to buy something. It catches a lot of people off guard, and it kind of just makes people uncomfortable. I know there's people out there that like to talk.
Bro, what is this place? This is so cool. This is like ancient Chinese characters. What is this place? So cool.
But if you want to kind of respect
Bubble
people's
tea, I guess.
boundaries and their spaces, then you might not want to just like come up and start talking to them. So I think the exception to this is if you do have a reason to talk to someone. So for example, you
An
are
acquaintance.
lost and you need like directions, then you can like
okay.
say sumimasen, excuse me, and then ask for directions. I think this is probably more mainly to do with the city because there's just so many people, there's so many like interactions that could potentially happen that you don't want to like continue to get bombarded with people.
Excuse me, Makudo Naruto. Kitto Katto. Oh yeah, I just remembered that one.
The people are kind of in their own zone in the city. Maybe if you were to go out in the countryside, it's less likely. People have their guard down more so. So in fact, they may actually appreciate you're talking to them. Don't take this as like all of Japan is like this, but maybe like in the city areas where people are just more closed off, then you might make them feel uncomfortable. And finally, number 10, talking way too loud. Now, I see this all the time when you're on the train, when you're on the bus, you're in a restaurant, and people are just talking so loud that it interrupts your thoughts. It's kind of off-putting, and it actually pisses a lot of Japanese.
I can understand that. I mean, when I speak, I normally speak very loud. So, but when I'm in public, I always try to keep my voice to a lower level. I mean, I'm making videos, of course, I have to speak loud, otherwise you won't understand me. So yeah, but yeah, I can see how that is annoying. Come on. Especially, I would say, American tourists, they have that fame, let's call it that way, here in Europe for being super loud. That you first hear the voice and then you see the person. I've experienced that myself quite a few times. But I would say that even Europeans are pretty loud, especially compared to Asian people. Like most of Asian people, I would say Southeast Asia, when I've been to Vietnam, people were very loud. But in Japan, I can imagine that people would be way more reserved, right?
Off. I've heard my Japanese friends comment about it. It's just something that people kind of like get really turned off by, because people do like their personal space, and someone like a group of people are talking way too loud, kind of just being inconsiderate about their surroundings, then it just kind of like pisses people off. It just says that you don't really care about the other people around you. And I mean, if you're just like talking normal, it's not a big deal. But I will say that it's not like I don't hear Japanese people do this. I mean, like, you'll probably sometimes be on a late train and people are like talking loudly because everyone's drunk on the train, or you'll go to maybe like a festival and people are talking loud. But just like in normal everyday daytime scenarios, people like try to keep their voice down so they don't bother other people. So if you are walking around and you don't want to piss people off, then just like keep your volume to as my grammar school teacher used to say, keep your 12-inch voices. Well, maybe more than 12 inches. 1 yard voice, because I was in the States. So yeah, those are my top 10 things. I don't know, if this video gets really popular, maybe it gets like 10,000 likes, or it gets a few 100,000.
Bro, 10,000 likes. He got 173k likes. Oh my god. This video really definitely, that's not proper English. Definitely get enough popularity.
Views, and maybe we'll do another one. So definitely hit that like button. Let me know that you like this video if you want to see another one. Or else if you want to see what I'm doing on the daily, then check out.
Okay, I love this type of videos, but this one, what a Japanese supermarket bakery is like. Oh my god, Japanese supermarkets, wow. Okay, probably my next video, besides music, of course, because I'm really falling in love with J-pop. But definitely I want to check out Japanese supermarkets. Maybe not supermarket bakery, but just a Japanese supermarket in general. So if you have any recommendations, let me know.
My Instagram account. If you want to support the channel, then check out my Shibuya merch. Yeah, if you want to see my other Japan guides or my day in the lives or anything like that, hit that subscribe button and the bell button, and I'll catch you guys.
Too crazy, too crazy. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. That was so good. That was so good. That was really good. That was really good. Let me know if you're watching this video, you're not Japanese, but you have traveled to Japan. Let me know what were the biggest culture shocks for you. And if you're Japanese, let me know what bothers you. Like, you might not be from Tokyo, but you might have encountered some tourists traveling to your place from different countries. Let me know what features or what did they do to piss you off. I mean, I love this stuff. So next time I will be traveling to the country, I will be already aware of what not to do. And that's already a big thing, you know? When you already know what not to do, then everything else is gonna be so cool, you know? Because you will still learn something new. You will be appreciated even more. You will experience everything at a better level. So yeah, thank you so much for watching the video. Wish you all a lovely Sunday. See you soon.